record. So good evening, listeners. I've got Ashok Swain with me right now online from Uppsala University in Uppsala, Sweden. He's an Indian-born Swedish academic and public intellectual, and he's the professor of peace and conflict research at the Department of Peace and Conflict Research at that university. In 2017, he was appointed as the UNESCO Chair on International Water Cooperation and became the first UNESCO Chair of Uppsala University. He's also got lots of publication, lots of books that he's edited, lots of books that he's contributed to, etc., etc. But his claim to fame at the moment, the infamous claim, I would like to suggest, is that he must be one of the most trolled people on social media, on Twitter, uh, and now X. But Ashok, is that you?
Uh, yes, I mean, the academic part is me, the one which you described. So that is a. I simply didn't know how. I'm a total novice in the any electronic or electrical things. I never had interest in anything. So I don't even know how to operate a phone or how to operate a computer. Very basic. I just know how to type in the computer, and that's in one hand actually.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I was very reluctant entrant to social media and also particularly Twitter because I had no clue and I never had this very small sentences putting your ideas to the people, and that was a kind of scary for me. So it went on like this. I mean, I was a very much academic tweet because one of my PhD student at that time, he almost forced me to open a Twitter account, and I did. And then, or he opened it for me. And then I was only occasionally tweeting till 2016, 15, 16, just to some very academic thing.
Mm-hmm.
And though I usually a very interested person in Indian politics, I mean, I'm a student of politics. Though my work was never limited to India, I was looking at globally, particularly Asia, Africa, and Middle East. But the thing is, India is always close to my heart, and because my family and I studied all my education in India. So I'm the only professor in the international relations you will find anywhere in the developed world, even in Australia, those who have got their PhD in India. So that's rarely you will find anyone. I haven't found anyone. So I have a very strong connection with India. And
Absolutely.
that's why, yes, sir.
Yeah. So I want to take you back to that connection in India. You were born in Odisha, in a small village there, and you studied in the village school. Tell us about that journey from that village in Odisha to JNU to again now ending up in Uppsala in Sweden, being an internationally respected professor of peace and conflict.
Yeah, I was born in 1965 in a small village close to Bay of Bengal, where in between Konark and Paradip. That is on the so very close to sea. I come from in my household, particularly my grandfather and my father and mother. They're not very educated. So, but we had a school in the village till middle school. But our when I remember, I mean those days, people weren't. I mean in the village school, from class 1 to 7th to 6th, we were sitting on the ground. From class 1 to 4th, we are sitting in one room, all of us together. There was no roof for some time, even that village thing. Then from age 11, from class 8, I moved to a little 2 kilometers away, but I was staying in the what you call the hostel, but that's not exactly the hostel. And then I moved to Puri for my intermediate, Kathak for my bachelor degree. Then I moved to Delhi University for my master's, and then went in to do my PhD in JNU. I finished my PhD in JNU in 1991. It has been a gradual journey, going through the government-aided government schools, and then studying in the Yeah, I had not paid for, it's India had paid for my school. It's not that pay schools and universities, to be honest.
Yep.
And it was, it's not that I come from a very poor family. Of course, my father was a very village level politician. And then when I started growing, he became a state level politician, and my grandfather had some land. So we were kind of I mean, I don't want to play like Modi plays that so I had food. I mean, when I was growing up, we had food. I didn't need to. I was not doing serving tea to anyone or something like that, so that was okay. But I come from a very regular background, and though my family had a little bit of land to feed ourselves, but I think it's not that anyone educated. So it's a kind of a nice or it's a journey which I'm proud of.
Yep. And anybody would be. And it's all educated in India. And you didn't go abroad to study. You studied in India and from there. And so you're a proud Indian?
Oh yes, I mean, look, one bit. I mean, this is something. I mean, if I go outside, I mean, in my office, you told my designation. Of course, people know my designation in the office. When I'm outside, who will tell me I'm a Swede? Everybody will think I'm an Indian.
Yep.
So it's whether I feel or not, people let you feel that you are an Indian. So it's
And-
of no. I mean, I grew up in India. I mean, look. I mean, I had a very, I mean, I know where you're going. Let me explain this.
Mhm.
That I was a kind of I have been living here in almost 33 years. And when I came in the early 90s, there are not many people, and people were those who are not in the academics. And also my topic is peace and conflict. I mean, I usually deal with the diplomats and international relations. So I have been always very close to Indian embassy here. Uh, and always, I mean, there was, and then Indian embassy for anything. Even I remember when I was even very young, when Bajpayee decided to go for the nuclear explosion in 98, there was a huge hue and cry, though I don't like BJP ideologically. But it was an Indian case, and the Indian ambassador had called a meeting of very small number of people to see their ideas, how to counter it in the and so those kind of things. And also in 2015, Pranab Mukherjee, the Indian president, he visited to Uppsala, Sweden for a state visit. He only gave one open speech that is in Uppsala University. I was the one who organized it.
Wow.
I even wrote his speech. Embassy asked me. I was the one till 2016 hosting the people, those who are coming ICCR professorship for India. So that was everything. I mean, I was the kind of Indian guy of Indian University in Uppsala for the Indian embassy for Uppsala. So it's not that it's something that whether I feel an Indian government, India was also feeling I'm an Indian till 2016.
And you seem to be a proud Indian. And
Of course.
so now coming to the controversy. So you are one of the few people, about 100 people, whose overseas citizenship of India has been cancelled. It was cancelled in 2022. You appealed it. It went to court. And then that decision was revoked by the High Court, I think, in 2023. And now again, it has come up for cancellation. And I'm quoting an Op India article, and they say that the Indian government has alleged that you've made speeches against India, illegal activities against the interest of the sovereignty, integrity, and security of India. Now, that's a very serious charge against you, uh, that you've carried out illegal activities. And they claim in this article that they've got security backing for this, and they are happy to give that information, or they're given that information,
Shield cover. They will give in shield
cover
cover.
to the court. So why is such a serious allegation is made against you if it's not true?
Let me explain a little bit. I think there are a few things which I'm unique, and I'm quite happy about it and proud about it as well. I'm the first Indian-born academic which OCI has been cancelled on this ground, or particularly it's not 2022, 2020. They banned me to enter India in November. And then they asked me why my OCI will not be cancelled. So as an Indian-born academic, I was the first one of the target to get that kind of thing from this government. Despite the fact that they had issued me OCI in January 2020. So in the few months before, they had issued my OCI. So there must be something very idiotic thing happening that one unit of the government is issuing OCI without checking my credential, and then in a few months after, and they're canceling my OCI. The thing is, I was in for 3 days in India or Bhubaneswar from my hometown in February 2020. And when I came back, it was a bit of challenge at the airport. They let me in, but then I came back quite smoothly. And then I think because November, they decided to do this ban me from the beginning. So since then, I haven't been, more than 4 years now, I haven't been to India. Then what happened when they banned my entry and said that why my OCI will not be cancelled, I wrote to them, can you tell me what kind of anti-India activities I have done and what kind of provocative speeches I have given? Because nothing, I think I have been critical of the Modi government. I have been critical of RSS. And that is, I thought I have a right to be critical of. As an academic, I can write, I can say whatever I think about the government, but I have never been critical of India. Why I will be critical of India? I mean, India as a country and Modi as a government, that's two different things altogether.
Yep.
And I think any even an idiot who has never gone to the political science school will understand the difference. But that's all. But if you're a bigot, you don't understand it. And then they didn't give me any reply what they have done. What I have done. But then in 2022, early, they cancelled my OCI without giving me an explanation. And that is the reason. They made my life difficult how to file cases. The Indian embassies was supposed to help, certify my power of attorney. They didn't do it. Took a long time. Thankfully, the lawyers could able to help to file my case in Delhi. Despite the Indian embassy didn't provide the basic support which they're supposed to do to any Indian which is going to do this. Then Manbir, remember that because when they did it, I decided not to go public. And there is a reason behind it. Why I decided not to go to public, because I have always thought the issue is not me. I am not the story. Story is India's democracy, India's secularism. It's India's minorities. It's not the story is Ashok Swain. Ashok Swain has as you can see, I have an office. I am doing okay. I can pay my rent. I live well. I cannot just go to India, but I go all over the world. So it's not that I'm really suffering anyway. In many, of course, I have a difficulties, but it's not that the kind of thing that many people in India, those who are suffering with. So I decided not to be a story, to be honest. And I thought I will fight it legally, and probably it will stay within the legal limit. It will not be a public case. But what you think? But when the case came in December 2022, I think December 6th, I woke up in the morning. I don't have any idea that that day my lawyer is filing the case, and all over every newspaper carried the story that I have, my OCI has been cancelled. So it took there or at least more than 2 years people to know that I have these things have gone against me. So it's never that I wanted. Anyway, in 2023 July, Delhi High Court realized that there is no merit in that case. They haven't given anything. They have not supplied anything. There is no. I mean, what kind of secret act I can do? I mean, I'm a professor, for heaven's sake. I don't know even how to use my phone. I mean, how can I do? What can I do? I don't know how to type a tweet. or I would have to write a op-ed. That's what I do. Or I speak like you. I'm speaking to the different media and those things. I mean, if that really is the threat to the unity, integrity, security, sovereignty, whatever, all what kind of things they say, they probably need to question what they may have made the country to. If the country is thus threatened, country security, integrity, and unity is threatened by a 5 feet 8 inch guy sitting in coming from a small village in India, sitting in a small town in Scandinavia, can do it from his computer, then I think they must be really looking at they are undermining India, not undermining. I mean, I have no respect for them, but they are undermining India, India's unity, India's strength. So I think that was the case. But then after 2 weeks, they canceled my OCI again. So I'm the only person in India whose OCI has been cancelled twice. I don't think you will find anyone else. So why? I mean, if the court said that they don't have merit in the case, why you cancelled again? And then you didn't give anything to it because they canceled in August 2023. They didn't give anything. Then they kept on postponing my dates. Only in beginning of February this year, when the case came to the court, they said that we don't have the officials now to defend, so they wanted more time, so it will go to May. And that time they told the court that we will be only giving this information, whatever you read from the whatever of India or whatever I call I mean, it's a far right of spreadsheet. But that came by Indian Express. I came to know from Indian Express, not even from anyone, Indian Express article, that they have said to the court that as you mentioned, I'm a threat to, or I'm doing activities which are a threat to India's unity, integrity, and sovereignty. And they can only give that to the court to be read by judge only, not only in a sealed cover. So, frankly, I think they are just making a kind of mockery of a judiciary system, this sealed cover nonsense, the kind of mockery of even India's strength. And everyone, look, that has what they have achieved with it, that this suspicion that I'm a spy or I'm something. I mean, because you call it Pakistani spy. The Op India was the first one to write me on Op India, Pakistani agent or something, together with several other people, when I was criticized in a Kashmir policy a long time back, 2016 or something. I mean, it's easy to say Pakistani spy. Some people say I'm a Pakistani. Bangladeshi says I'm also Indian spy. I mean, the Pakistani say I criticize Pakistan army like anything. They also now say that the Indians, I'm an Indian agent. Israeli says I'm Palestinian agent. I mean, it goes on.
So I see this tweet from Aisha Khan, who says that Ashok Swain, an Indian-born Swedish professor at Uppsala University, who was working for ISI, but recently switched sides with Imran Khan. So your Twitter account got hacked by Pakistani hackers, and so you're being. But okay, so that's one aspect.
Everybody has a story, Manbir. Everybody makes up the story. It's now got a social media. You can call me whatever. You can call me I'm a spy of Mars or whatever. People. That's okay. Yeah.
But you are also called. So before I come to that, how does it? So you still got family in Orissa?
Yeah. My mother is quite old.
So you can't
I haven't
see her.
visited my mother. I'm the only son. I have 3 sisters, but they are married. And of course, in an Indian context, it's me who is supposed to be responsible for my mother. I haven't seen my mother for 4 years. She's too old to travel here. So this is the only most painful thing for me, that I said, because I, of course, cannot go to India for giving lectures or attending conference. I was the kind of things, like recently this Bangalore thing, the conference, which I was also invited. I even wrote paper for them, small paper. But I think, to everyone where I'm invited, they're canceling my lectures, or I cannot go. I cannot even collaborate with them, because I don't want them to be seen together with me, that they will be victimized by their university bosses. So it has stopped my academic collaboration with Indian universities. But that I really do not. I mean, professionally, I don't suffer much, because I have reached a stage of my life, academic life, that I really don't give that much of. I mean, I survive anyway. But my only or the biggest problem is or worry is that my mother.
Mm.
My sisters are doing well. They are, I mean, they're okay. But this is my responsibility because my father died in 95, and I couldn't even. I went after he died because it is a sudden death, and I always live in a very bad conscience that I am not able to see my mother in this stage for 4 years now, more than 4 years now.
That's sad. And so, but another allegation against you is that you are anti-Hindu. What does that
Mhm.
mean?
That's stupidity. Uh, completely. Because why I would be anti-Hindu? I'm a Hindu, and I'm an anti-Hindu supremacist, not anti-Hindu. I was, I mean, look, I told you in 2020, February, I went for 3 days for my cousin's daughter's marriage, just for a family function. It was good. But the first thing, I landed in Bhubaneswar night. The next morning, early morning, I went to Puri to see Jagannath.
Mm.
Uh, you can see if I can show you. It didn't. Wait a minute. I can. Oh yeah. Can you see my? There's a Jagannath there.
Yeah. Okay.
So and nowadays I'm gradually becoming a little bit more atheist
Hmm.
kind of thing because I'm seeing this is how this religion is. But I still a practicing Hindu. I do have. I have born Hindu. I has remained as Hindu, and I can't say. Look, I don't really. People say I'm a proud Indian. People say I'm a proud Hindu. I mean, what I have done to become a proud Indian, what I have done to become a proud Hindu. I'm born there. I mean, it's
You don't have to
so.
prove your
Yeah,
credentials to anybody.
yeah, I don't. I haven't. So that's what I'm problem. That's how, when people say, "Are you a proud Hindu?" I said, I'm born there. I'm happy with my religion. That's it. Of course, I had some internal criticism. I criticize the caste system. I criticize the way if you bring that you distort the history. I criticize when Hinduism look at the minorities as enemy. Those are the things I criticize. But doesn't mean that I mean. I'm as a born Hindu. I'm still Hindu.
Mm. And, and
But I
and
have
and
not done nothing to be. I've done nothing myself to be a Hindu to be proud of it. About this is what I have problem with when people say that I'm a proud Hindu or proud Indian or proud Odia or whatever.
yep. And that just divides people. But also, yeah. So being proud of this, proud of that, yeah, that's okay. But then we use that pride to divide
Yeah,
the people, which is the sad way of looking at life, you know. But also, let me ask you: you've made this statement that Rahul Gandhi is the only alternative to Narendra Modi.
yeah.
Why? What's so special about Rahul Gandhi? He's got no experience. He's got no administrative experience. He's very new to politics. Uh, he's never held a cabinet position in his life. He's never governed anything. Why do you make such a big statement that he's the only alternative?
I will tell that 100 times, not once. And there is a reason behind it. The reason is Modi is a very highly dogmatic populist, but dogmatic populism, Hindu nationalist. Uh, and that's what is politics about. And India has become a very majoritarian political field.
Mhm.
If we really want to get out of this, we need to find somebody who has never compromised and will never compromise to come to power on that branding. And that's why I see the only person, which is Rahul Gandhi, can do this. The reason is Rahul Gandhi has never, and of course, Rahul Gandhi has comes from a family, has a Congress party, whatever state it is, but it has a party structure. He's well known, or at least a known face all over the India and globally. So besides that point, my argument is mostly on the basis of his ideological position. People call him an NGO man or something, what he's leading an NGO, but I see him as the true ideological alternative of uh, Modi. And if we are really looking for an alternative to get out of the mess which as India has been undemocratic on secular, on scientific force. If we want to move that, we need to find somebody who is ideologically opposite to that guy, who is leading the country. And
Yeah, but
that's what
Rahul
I
Gandhi
think.
belongs to the Congress, and the Congress
Yeah.
has led to this massive mess of society that India has been in. So, I mean, their hands are not exactly clean, and he
No,
belongs to
I
them.
agree. No, I agree. I mean, they messed up many ways. I agree. 1984. I agree. I mean, there is not those are not the things anybody should hide or emergency. These are the things which Congress has done. So, and Congress has also been responsible to many ways, not really keeping RSS under check. But that should not be given at this point. Give me somebody, another leader in India who has a national party as and also a character which is exactly opposite of Modi. Because I hate, or I detest, rather hate is a bad word, I detest and I think it's a very dangerous, the Modi brand of politics for India
Mhm.
as such Indian project. So I understand probably because Rahul Gandhi's political style probably doesn't match the Indian political side now. It's a more of a that's it. But I will be the last person not to admit that the Congress mistakes. That's the
Mm.
Congress has done mistakes. But we need to find a way out. But Congress mistakes should not be a factor that we should think that this person will be those who have been like, take for example, I'm free to go one by one if you want to discuss. I will tell them how they have compromised with the RSS and how they have been in recent memory. Forget about indirectly or something. And that's why, and there have been some people saying that Nitish Kumar could have been, some people are Mamata Banerjee, I mean, and some people Arvind, I mean, but this is where the problem lies. The problem lies that we don't understand these are all state level ones basically. And they have, and even I'm fine with it, but they have always compromised a number of times with the RSS and the BJP to remain in power. And that's why I differentiate between Rahul Gandhi and others. I have never met Rahul Gandhi. I saw Rahul Gandhi for the first time and last time in 1987
You
with
don't
his
receive any funding from them, the Congress.
Congress doesn't have the funding for themselves, so why they will give money to me? I mean,
Yeah.
I have a listen, Manbir. I only get one salary. I have only one bank account, and these are in my pocket. So I can, if you want, I can send you my bank statement, and you can check it. And the only thing you see, I have been because for me, I have been offered different jobs. I'll admit it. I have different jobs in other places where I could get a high salary. But why I really like my job in Uppsala University where I am, it gives me freedom of speaking what I think. And freedom of speech is extremely important for me. I always want to, I like that. I want to go for that. And this is the reason I have done it. And this is the way I do have only place where I get the money. Yes, there are two places I get the money. I must admit that. One is the Uppsala University, my regular salary, which is professor's salary. And I am also head of the department, so I get the money for that. But then I have also write regular column for the Gulf News. And there are many people do write, and that Gulf News, and that's also open source. Besides that, I usually, I mean, no, I mean, because I'm more worried where the money comes to my account. If the 10 kroner comes, $10 comes to my account, and I don't have that, that's what makes me panic rather than if somebody takes away 100,000, or I don't have 100,000, 10,000 kroner from my account. So, because I know that the money trail is most important if the kind of, I'm writing it will come out in this week with a scroll. I've written a piece on Scroll, my encounter with intelligence agencies, or I call them on intelligence agencies. That's with India, Pakistan, Nepal, Sweden, all everything, or some of them at least.
Please send it.
I think I will send you that piece and you will read it. So I have been under the radar of intelligence agencies forever. And till now I have survived because I have only one salary. Okay.
Okay, that's good to know. So coming back to your OCI, so where is the case at now? Quickly.
Oh, the case is in Delhi High Court. It will be coming in the May again. My my lawyers were very hopeful before, but I think now they really don't want to tell me what is going on because I understand that. So because I think the government will not allow in any way to get me, I mean, get my OCI revoked. So the first time when it was revoked, OCI was revoked by the court, it was again a big news in India, and it's always people try to say that, oh no, this is a big case, so that they lost their face. So this time they will try not to at all to do this. And there is also recently somebody asked me if I go, what shall I do? Of course, I will be arrested, and they have a number of cases against me all over. So that's yeah, that is that part I under.
Hmm.
I think it's a well known. So I don't have much hope. If BJP comes to power, Modi comes to power, I don't know. I don't think I would even file again another case again. Let's see.
Okay. We'll cross that
I
bridge.
think if the present situation continues, even if the court really rules that I should go or my OCI is not revoked, I will not trust this government to go back.
Hmm. Okay. And now, thank you for being so candid. And I'm glad that you don't have any other sources of funding except your salary. So
Yeah.
it's good to talk to you, Ashok. And I'm sure we spoke a number of years ago, but I look forward to seeing you. And I hope you're looking after your mental health with all this trolling and all these hacking that is happening. I hope you have
Yeah.
some good resources to look after your mental health because it's
The
very important.
university is taking care of it. Its university has been quite kind for a long time. There has been a number of threats, a number of things. I mean, I think probably there have been plots to kill me, even in the office where I'm sitting.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
bad.
a so these are the things which I need to survive with. But that's the part of life, and that's the part of my making that I have done. I have decided to not to remain silent.
So all the best with your journey, and I hope you remain safe. Please look after yourself, and I'm sure we'll talk to you in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.